I'm Akshay PK, and I have around 3 years of experience in the IT industry. So I'm working as a cloud engineer at Coda Global right now. I've authored my own course on Udemy, which has 4.5 rating for AWS and DevOps. So the talk that I wanted to do today was on DevOps, and the reason is because literally everyone in the industry, irrespective of which platform you're working with or which technology you're working with, at one point of time you will encounter this word which is called as DevOps, which is nothing but developer plus operations. So to break it down for you, I have this very nice diagram that I plotted because of my Saturday and Sunday classes that I take. So in this diagram, if you can see, I'll break it down for you and so that you understand it very clearly and very easily. So on the top, we have a pull request pipeline, and on the bottom, we have a master branch pipeline. And we all know that when you are working with a lot of code, you need to commit your code somewhere, and you need to have your code stored somewhere, and that's going to be your source version repository or your source code repository. So it's going to be GitHub or GitLab or Code Commit or Bitbucket when you're going for enterprise products. And then after that, you need to have a build phase, and then you need to have a deployment phase, and then you need to visualize this entire stuff, and that's called as a pipeline. So when you talk about DevOps, it encapsulates three different terms: continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous delivery. So continuous integration talks about as to how you would take your code and build yourself an artifact out of that code. So it can be a jar file for a Java-based project. It can be a DDL file for a .NET project, and so on. And then when you talk about continuous deployment and delivery, the only difference between these two is that with continuous deployment, you do have a manual approval stage before you move everything to your production environment. And when it comes to continuous delivery, you don't have that kind of a strategy. So literally all of your artifacts are going to go through each and every individual stage. So after talking about all of these things, then what are these environments? So each and every company that you're going to work with are going to have environments. So they are going to have a development environment where all of your developers are going to work in. They're going to have a quality analysis environment where all of your testers are going to test all of your code. And then you're going to have either a staging environment, and then finally it could go to a production environment. So a staging environment, as I like to call it, is where you have a subset of users or your end users. Let's say 10% or 20% of your traffic is going to your end users, and they are able to test all of the new features that you're deploying. And finally, when you are happy with all of these features, you have a manual approval stage that goes all the way to production. Now everyone is happy because your latest features are there in your production environment. So then if DevOps is all about just continuous integration, continuous deployment, and delivery, then are there any other constructs to this? How do you keep improving? So that's when you start using a lot of different tools in the market. So literally every cloud platform in today's world has their own set of tools for creating pipelines. So you have the source stage, you have the build stage, and then you have your deployment stage. So in this, if we had to dig in more deeper, and we can also talk about two of my own favorite aspects that I would like to call are additions to this DevOps pipeline, is that I always like to do security scanning. And you have to do these security scannings and testings as soon as possible, right when a pull request is created. And to just give you an idea as to what a pull request is, let's say that you create a feature branch and you go ahead and commit your code to the feature branch. And then automatically you don't want to directly push your code to the master. You want to create a pull request so that people can review your code. Probably your lead or your technical lead in your office can review your code and give you comments so that you can iteratively develop on your code at a much earlier stage. And that's where we would like to have our security scanning and all of our testing. So that means DevOps also includes continuous security. And at the same time, I should also like to know like what is happening inside my pipeline. So whether my builds are passing, whether my builds are failing, what is the exact problem, which stage is my build at. So for all of these things, I would also like to add one more term over there into my DevOps pipeline, which I also called as continuous notification. So DevOps is not just only CI and CD. It also includes continuous security. It also includes continuous notification. So this diagram over here is a classic example wherein just follow my mouse. So you have a pull request that goes from the feature branch all the way to the master branch. And let's say, for example, that you are using either one of these tools over here to store all of your code. And then once you have committed your code and created your pull request, automatically it's going to trigger a build. And in that build, what you're going to have is you're going to have all of your static code analysis or SAST checks using tools such as Sonar Cloud, Sonar Cube, or checkmarks. And then you're going to go ahead and do all of your unit test cases and integration test cases. And then if suppose there is any problems or if your build fails, you're going to be notified automatically immediately over Slack or Microsoft Teams, and your developer can immediately start iterating on that code. And let's say, for example, that everything is going fine and your code is being merged to the master branch. What's going to happen is we are going to have another build that is going to happen over here, which is not going to do all of these things, because as early as possible, you would like to get the feedback. But over here, what you're going to do is you're directly going to build the Docker image, or probably just a jar file or a var file or an EAR file for any kind of your application, such as an artifact, and then probably upload that artifact with necessary versioning into repositories such as Nexus or Amazon S3, which is used for storage, or Docker Hub for Docker images. And then again, you would like to get notification whether it was uploaded successfully or not. But then I would also like to do certain things over here in terms of container security scanning. Everyone would have at least heard about the word container, but then have you also done security scanning for your containers? These are classic interview questions of really big organizations such as Walmart or Amazon and so on. So after doing all of your security scanning using either one of these tools, if everything is fine and my vulnerability report is all good, and I'm very happy with where my application is and it has 0 vulnerabilities, I'll automatically move it into my development environment. And one thing to note, when you're working with any organization, the development and the quality testing or the quality assurance environment should have the same configuration. That's the reason why I have just one EC2 instance or one virtual machine where I'll be deploying my code. And then my testers are the right authoritative person in an organization in order to tell me whether my code is of good quality. And once they give me that assurance, I will have a manual or approval stage wherein I'll get a notification over email, probably to my Gmail account. And if I click on that link, automatically this manual or approval will be accepted, and all of my artifacts is going to move to the staging environment. And in my staging environment, the kind of architecture that I have over here is I have a load balancer, which is going to load balance all of my requests across multiple virtual machines. Or I could have an ECS cluster, which is nothing but a container-related cluster. Or probably the buzzword in the term right now in the industry is Kubernetes. I could have a Kubernetes cluster over here. And then when I'm happy with the staging environment, my subset of users who are accessing my latest features are very happy about it. I can move it all the way to production. Otherwise, I can fail the build right now over here itself and give the manual or approval stage as rejected, so that my developers get to know what kind of complaints are coming from the staging environment, and they can start doing this entire pipeline again. So I always think that pipelines are set in stone once, but you have to always think creative in order to go ahead and improve and iterate on your pipeline. If you don't want to go for cloud-related technologies over here, we do have amazing open source technologies in the market, such as Jenkins, which helps us a lot in terms of doing our CI/CD pipelines and deployments. So I hope you guys got a really good idea on what DevOps is and what continuous integration, deployment, and delivery is, and at the same time, what is continuous security and continuous notification. So thank you for your time, and yep, I hope to do some more discussions. Thank you.